What's a hearty breakfast without pancakes? Whether you're looking for a cheap stack, a bit of a splurge, or an eruption of toppings, here's our countdown of the best and worst fast food pancakes around. If you find yourself at a Dairy Queen during the morning hours, you'd probably be better off opting for one of their burritos, breakfast sandwiches, or biscuits and gravy rather than their buttermilk pancakes. Simply put, they're just not worth your hard-earned money. DQ's pancake breakfast costs about $6. While that might sound like a great deal compared to sit-down restaurants, it's fairly pricey when you compare them to other fast food options. On top of that disappointment, these pancakes are fairly flavorless unless they're covered in syrup, and they don't have the fluffy texture that you want from a classic buttermilk stack. One YouTube reviewer gave this dish 2.5 out of 5 stars, while declaring, "I am very disappointed with these pancakes. They're nowhere near as good as a McDonald's pancake, and McDonald's pancakes, of course, are a lot cheaper than these."
It stinks!
Like most of the fast food places on this list, Jack in the Box is known more for its hamburgers than it is for breakfast. You may not have even realized that Jack in the Box has an all-day breakfast menu, which includes their mini pancakes. You can order them on their own or in a jumbo breakfast platter with a hash brown, scrambled eggs, and sausage or bacon on the side. Although it's ranked low on the list, there are a few good things to note here. First of all, these silver dollar pancakes stand out from the crowd thanks to how bite-sized they are, making them an easier on-the-go item than the full-size version. And these mini pancakes definitely have their fans who appreciate the fluffiness and the buttermilk flavor, but not everyone is a satisfied customer. In a poll of 632 mashed readers about the most disliked breakfast items at Jack in the Box, 195 ranked the mini pancakes at the bottom. This recipe really takes things to the next level by adding cocoa powder to the batter so that the chocolate chips are mixed into chocolate pancakes for double the chocolate flavor. The concept here sounds fantastic, but in practice, it falls flat. You would hope that the chocolatey recipe would result in something tender, gooey, and rich, but alas, that's not the case. Instead, these pancakes are chalky and simply far too sweet. And since they're topped off with whipped cream and chocolate syrup, that sweetness overload becomes even more of an issue. An article on Insider had similar issues, as the reviewer noted that these pancakes are surprisingly plain. And despite the addition of cocoa to the batter, the chocolatey flavor that you'd expect is mainly in the chips, while the actual chocolate pancakes are disappointingly dry. But if you add butter, they can be enjoyable enough. Burger King is a decent choice when you're in the mood for some simple, classic breakfast pancakes. You won't get any of the fancy toppings or mix-ins that you might at somewhere like IHOP. But BK does offer fluffy pancakes with sweet syrup at an affordable price. You can get a small stack on their own or a breakfast platter including pancakes and sausage. Both options are more affordable than a lot of other fast food joints. However, while these pancakes have a tempting price tag and taste decent, they're still far from the best. Overall, they're fairly plain. And when stacked up against the many delicious breakfast sandwiches offered on the BK menu, they're hardly your best option. In 2018, Burger King had a promotion selling 3 pancakes for just 89 cents. At that incredibly low price, you can see how they could become a go-to guilty pleasure.
What would you do for 3 pancakes for 89 cents?
I'd pay 89 cents.
But when these pancakes are at their normal price, you have to ask yourself if they're really worth it. And even though you get 3 of them in the order, the small size makes it less filling than you'd expect. Still, BK pancakes will get the job done if you really need something to satisfy your cravings. Spangles is a Kansas-based fast food chain with an emphasis on high-quality, fresh food. The family-owned 1950s-themed restaurant is beloved by many in the area, but it's not easily accessible throughout the country. So even though Spangles' pancakes are quite delicious, it's hard to justify ranking them higher than the middle when they're not readily available to most of us. Still, if you find yourself in Kansas, it's definitely worth stopping in a Spangles to enjoy the signature double cheese steak burger. Or you could swing by in the morning and get a taste of the breakfast menu, which includes 2 pancake options. They offer a plate of 3 buttermilk pancakes with maple syrup or with sausage added for a little more than $1 menu. This is a solid option if you like to stick to the classics. But what makes Spangles really stand out are their ooey gooey cinnamon pancakes. This stack of 3 fluffy buttermilk pancakes are served with a delicious cinnamon glaze, vanilla icing, and maple syrup. If you like sweet, melty toppings for breakfast, then you can't go wrong with this order. One TripAdvisor reviewer wasn't a fan of Spangles overall, but they still couldn't get enough of the ooey gooey cinnamon. As they declared, those pancakes are the absolute bomb if you get them fresh. Kinda like Cinnabon meets McDonald's pancakes. They're simply amazing calorie bombs that call my name. Not to be confused with Jack in the Box, Jack's pancakes are an excellent option to try. Jack's Family Restaurant opened its doors in Alabama in 1960, offering fast food favorites like burgers, sandwiches, chicken, and fries, as well as a breakfast menu. They've stuck to their southern roots over the decades, but unfortunately, this is another restaurant that's only available in part of the country. It's at least a little more spread out than Spangles, as you can find Jack's in Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Wisconsin. Jack's is a good place for breakfast if you're in the area, especially if you like your hotcakes nice and airy. And these simple, fluffy cakes definitely have their fans. One reviewer on Yelp declared, "They do serve the best pancakes from any fast food restaurant. So good, you will be doing yourself a favor by trying them out." Because of Jack's Alabama roots, you may also want to try some of the more traditional southern dishes on the menu, like biscuits and gravy and the many biscuit sandwiches.
That's the fact, Jack!
Although not all of IHOP's offerings are great, they at least get the classics right, which is why their buttermilk pancakes are near the top of our list. This simple stack is the base that most of IHOP's more complex and sweet dishes build off of. They may not stand out on a menu filled with tantalizing and eye-catching varieties, but they're a more reliable option. And you can't discount reliability in a world that's constantly changing. While many of the chain's pancake flavors can be too sweet or too dry, the original buttermilk ones are always delicious. They're fluffy and sweet, but not too sweet, and they have a slight tang from the buttermilk. You can get this classic order in a short stack with 3 pancakes or a full stack that comes with a tower of 5. Or you can get them in a breakfast combo with 2 pancakes and savory breakfast favorites like eggs, hash browns, bacon, or sausage. When it comes to quick and easy fast food, it's hard to beat McDonald's. There are locations everywhere, it's affordable, and the menu is reliable. Those are just a few of the reasons why their hotcakes are one of our favorite fast food pancake options. One order gets you 3 golden pancakes with a side of butter and maple syrup. It's nothing fancy, but their golden airiness is exactly what most of us have in mind when ordering pancakes. And considering the affordable price point, McDonald's actually over-delivers here. Just be sure to eat them while they're still fresh and warm, or they can become rubbery. And these hotcakes have plenty of fans. As one of them declared on Reddit, "They're the best pancakes I've ever had in terms of quality, consistency, fluffiness, and taste. The syrup and butter they give always deliver as well." While many agreed with this positive feedback, some pushed back a bit. As one commenter put it, "I'll admit that they taste good, but they are definitely not the best in terms of quality. They're like the rest of McDonald's food. Not the best quality, but sometimes you're just craving it." That's a generally fair assessment. While these aren't the best pancakes you'll ever eat, they're pretty excellent when taking into account the price and convenience.
Time for breakfast, birdie!
Oh boy, hotcakes!
In spring 2018, IHOP introduced 3 new globally inspired pancakes, with Mexican tres leches, Belgian dark chocolate mousse, and English sticky toffee varieties. The latter stood out from the crowd in the best possible way. These dreamy pancakes are made with the classic buttermilk as the base, with crunchy English toffee added on top. Then, the stack is topped off with salted caramel sauce and whipped cream for the perfect finishing touches. When Thrillist ranked every IHOP pancake in 2018, they placed this toffee recipe as the best on the menu. And it only takes one bite to understand why. As you can probably guess from the name and description, this is a very sweet breakfast order. But rather than tasting sickly sweet, the addition of salty flavor balances the sweet toffee and caramel, so the dish is still enjoyable without being overwhelming. It's an indulgent breakfast treat that's perfect for when you want something a little out of the ordinary. Finally, we come to the absolute best fast food pancake, and it's Whataburger's Pancake Platter. Along with a stack of 3 pancakes, this meal comes with hash brown sticks, coffee, and your choice of bacon or sausage. It's on the pricier end of this list options, but it justifies that by being very filling. The pancakes themselves are decently thick, fluffy, and larger than a lot of other fast food pancakes. YouTuber Mike Chen reviewed them in 2021 and declared, "I'm not gonna lie, these are some good pancakes. Wow, fluffy, light, airy, and easily soaks up that nice syrup." What sets Whataburger's pancakes apart is that they're made fresh on the griddle when you order. Instead of reheating pre-made items, the chain cooks up these delicious hotcakes to ensure that they're hot and fresh. A former Whataburger employee confirmed this by revealing on Reddit, "At our breakfast rush, we get 3 orders of pancakes with every other order. One grill is just producing plain eggs and pancakes." So if you want a fresh but fast and affordable breakfast, Whataburger is a great option. And if you fall in love with them, you'll be happy to hear that you can also make them at home, as Whataburger sells boxes of its pre-made pancake mix.